The silence of the way station was a thick, sterile blanket, broken only by the rhythmic chime of long-range telemetry and the faint, ever-present hum of the station's aging life support. My name is Kaelin, and my world was the endless, silent dark between the stars. For 3 years, I had been the solitary warden of Way Station Theta, a forgotten sentinel on the edge of charted space. My duty was simple, monotonous: monitor the automated buoy network, log the passage of stellar drift, and ensure the beacon light for the deep space haulers never faltered. It was a life of profound isolation, a self-imposed exile where the greatest excitement was a minor calibration shift in the hydrogen scoops. But on the night the star charts glitched, my quiet existence shattered forever. It began not with an image, but with a song, a single, pure, and heartbreakingly beautiful note that bloomed from the subspace speakers, a frequency so alien and so saturated with sorrow that it felt like a physical chill in the recycled air. I dismissed it as a harmonic echo from a pulsar, a ghost in the machine, but the melody persisted, weaving itself into the static of the data streams, a siren's call from the void. Then my main hollow projector flickered to life without command, and she coalesced from the light, a figure woven from nebular dust and shattered moonlight. Her form was humanoid, yet utterly alien. Her skin held the shifting, liquid patterns of a galactic core, and her hair was not hair but cascading tendrils of shimmering cosmic gas that moved in a non-existent breeze. Her eyes, vast and deep as event horizons, locked onto mine, and in their star-flecked depths, I saw an ache that spanned millennia. Her voice, when it came, did not touch my ears but resonated directly within my mind, a symphony of cellos and solar winds. "You are listening," she breathed, the thought tinged with awe and a grief so ancient it stole my breath. After the long silence, someone is finally listening. I was frozen, my hand hovering over the emergency disconnect. This was a first contact scenario every protocol warned against, a potential threat to all of humanity. But the profound sadness in her gaze held no malice, only a bottomless, weary pain. "I am Lyra," her voice echoed, the last echo of the Ethel, the star singers. "Our song was the universe's balance, and you were the one who silenced it." A cold dread, sharp and immediate, coiled in my stomach. "The Ethel are a myth," I stammered, the warden in me clinging to known facts. "A progenitor race from the dawn of time. They transcended. We did not transcend. We were extinguished." Her thought voice was a whisper of unimaginable loss. "And you, in the life you wore before the shell, were the instrument. You were the Void General, the commander of the Devourer fleet." As she spoke, the hologram shifted. I was no longer looking at her, but through her memories. I saw a universe alive with light, with civilizations of pure energy, and worlds that sang in harmonic resonance. The Ethel were not builders of cities, but weavers of the cosmic symphony, their very existence a gift of stability to the fabric of reality. Then came the Shadow, a fleet of brutal, silent ships, their design chillingly familiar in its humanoid pragmatism. They did not fire lasers or plasma. They unleashed waves of silencing energy, a technology that erased complex energy patterns, that unmade the song itself. And at the helm of the lead dreadnought stood a figure in black, crystalline armor, his face a mask of cold, utilitarian resolve. The Void General. My face. "You sought the source of our power," Lyra continued, the memory of her world's ending playing out around us in shimmering, painful clarity. "You called it a catalytic energy source. We called it our soul. You broke into our stellar nursery, the heart of our song, and to prevent its capture, you triggered a resonance cascade. You silenced the music to keep it from us. I saw it then, the general's hand giving the final order, the wave of null sound erupting from the fleet, and the beautiful, singing stars of the Ethel winking out, one by one, into a permanent, screaming silence. The visual echo of that cosmic genocide was followed by a wave of psychic anguish from Lyra that left me on my knees, gasping. "I am not him!" I cried out, my voice raw. "That was 1,000,000 years ago. That man is dead. Is he?" The question was not an accusation, but a plea for understanding. The soul is a constant, Kaelin. It carries the weight of its choices across the eons. I have been trapped here, in this pocket of unraveled space-time, a single, sustained note of grief where a chorus once existed. I have waited through ages of darkness for one reason: to look into the eyes of our destroyer and ask, why was our song not enough to save us? Her despair was a living thing, filling the control room, and I was drowning in it. I was facing the last remnant of a culture I had annihilated in a forgotten life, and the horror of it was not in remembered guilt, but in the sheer, tragic waste of it all. The beauty she showed me, the symphony of existence that was lost, made the Void General's logic seem monstrous. Perhaps, I whispered, the words feeling inadequate, yet utterly true. I came back to hear the song you've been singing alone. The hologram of Lyra brightened, her form pulsing with a soft, surprised light. The devastating memory of the Devourer fleet receded, replaced by her solitary, luminous presence. You are not him, she mused, her voice softening with a dawning, fragile wonder. The armor of command is gone. The silence in you has been filled with a desire to listen. Suddenly, the way station shuddered. Crimson alerts flashed across every console. The power draw from the projector was catastrophic, overloading systems never designed for such a psionic load. The hologram flickered violently, Lyra's form dissolving into static. The anchor is failing, she said, her voice growing distant. This memory cannot hold against the tide of time. No! Lyra, wait! I shouted, scrambling to the console, my hands flying over the controls in a futile attempt to stabilize the connection. I have waited so long in the quiet. Her voice was a fading echo, yet it held a newfound peace. Not for retribution, I see now, but for a witness. For one soul to hear our final note and remember its beauty. You have given me that. The silence is no longer empty. Don't go! Live, Kaelin, her voice was the faintest whisper, a breath against my soul. Live, and remember that some things are too beautiful to be silenced, even in memory. The hologram vanished. The projector died with a final, sad spark. The familiar, artificial hum of the way station returned, but the silence it brought was different. It was no longer empty. It was hallowed, filled with the echo of a billion lost voices, and the ghost of a melody I would now carry forever. I sat alone in the dim light, the ghost of starlight on my retinas and the weight of a cosmic sin on my heart. I was not the Void General. I was just a man. But I was a man who now carried the last song of the Starsingers. I turned to my log, not to make an official report, but to begin a new entry, a testament. I would use every bite of the station's memory. I would use the language of a species that had committed the crime to preserve the memory of the victims. I would ensure the Ethel were not just a footnote in a xenohistorical record, but a story told and a song remembered. The work was no longer about monitoring the silent dark. It was about filling it with a legacy that deserved to be heard. And as I worked, the deep, chilling silence of the way station was slowly, gently, replaced by the sound of one man, finally listening, and the quiet, determined scratch of a pen, writing a new beginning into the void.